But Mr. Speaker, I am not surprised. If you are a fan of football, and I'm happy to see you the other day jubilating when Ghana won. But there was a player in the United Kingdom, in England, called Maguire, who was playing for Manchester United. Harry Maguire. He's a defender. He was tackling everybody and throwing his bodies everywhere, that he was seen as the best defender in the world. Manchester United went and bought him. He became the biggest threat at the center of Manchester United's defense, tackling Manchester players and giving assists to opponents. Mr. Speaker, when even the opponents fail to score, Maguire will score for them.
How has the world's most valuable defender become a viral meme overnight, subjected to every form of abuse and finally receiving a bomb threat to his home? Join us as we uncover the pain and the struggles of one of the game's most resilient figures, Harry Maguire. But has he always been like this? What happened? Let's journey back to Sheffield, where it all began. From age 7 to 16 years old, Maguire played as a central midfielder for Sheffield United's academy. Maguire came through the youth system at Sheffield United before graduating to the first team in 2011. He made 166 appearances for Sheffield United and was the club's player of the year 3 seasons in succession, and also featuring in the PFA Team of the Year for League One as many times. In 2014, he made a transfer to Hull City for £2.5 million before being loaned to Wigan Athletic in 2015. He joined Leicester City in 2017 for an initial fee of £12 million, and in 2017-2018 season, he played in every minute and was named Player of the Season. Maguire moved to Manchester United in 2019 for a fee believed to be £80 million, a world record amount for a defender. And on the 17th of January 2022, he was named as the captain for Manchester United by the then manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, following Ashley Cole's departure to Inter Milan. And that said a lot about the lack of leaders in the squad, that Maguire was given such responsibility despite only being at the club for just 6 months. The captaincy did seem to help Maguire at first, as both he and United boosted by the arrival of Bruno Fernandes. They were unbeaten in their final 14 matches of the season, thriving in empty stadiums when football resumed after the coronavirus enforced lockdown. Maguire played a significant part in Manchester United 2019-2020 Premier League successful season, which saw them finish 3rd place, their second highest finish since the retirement of Alex Ferguson. Maguire played in every minute of United 38 games league campaign, becoming the first outfield player to do so since 1995. Just as things looked on the up, however, Maguire found himself on the front pages of UK newspapers and on the top news bulletin after being arrested while on a family holiday on Greek island of Mykonos. Maguire was held in a police custody for 2 nights after a fight outside a bar. He was later found guilty in court for assaulting a police officer, resisting arrest, and attempted bribery, which earned him 21 months suspended sentence. He has always denied any wrongdoing, claiming he was only defending his family, and also alleged that he was beaten after being taken to the police station. Maguire launched an appeal which nullified his international conviction. However, the incident has had a lasting impact on him, and Maguire often has a security detail whenever he goes out. He was dropped from England squad for 2 matches following his arrest, and it also seems to haunt him at the start of the 2021-2022 season, but still remained the captain of the Red Devils, and he gave one of his worst performances in a shocking 6-1 defeat to Tottenham at home. He was at least partially at fault for 3 of Tottenham goals, and the BBC gave him a rating of 1.8/10, the lowest of any player. Beyond Maguire's individual records as a centre-back and a captain, he has ultimately presided over an utterly disastrous defensive performances throughout the season. United signed Raphael Varane, giving Maguire a Champions League and a World Cup winning defensive partner, but that did not do much to stop his dramatic fall from grace. There was also high hopes for the coming campaign after Ronaldo's much celebrated return, but the honeymoon did not last long, as United slumped from one terrible defeat to another. He was involved in all 4 of Leicester's goals in a crashing 4-2 defeat at the King Power Stadium, and was also powerless to stop Liverpool winning 5-0 at the Old Trafford. During the campaign, he made a remarkable 16 errors leading to goals according to reports, and with so few leaders in the team, it was often left to him to front up in a post-match interviews to apologize to the fans. Maguire's poor performance inevitably affected his authority as a captain, and a former Manchester United defender, Nemanja Vidic, will go on to say, When you don't perform well as a captain, it is very difficult to say to someone what to do, and also difficult to get that type of respect. In general, any captain has to be first to show example, he added. Maguire could not stage any recovery. Things went from bad to worse for United during the 2021-2022 season, and sacking Ole did not make things better as the team crawled to finish 6th under interim boss Ralph Rangnick. As Maguire continued to face harsh reality, he emphasized that some of his teammates are not being supportive at this crucial moment, and one of those include their then goalkeeper David De Gea. It is stated that Maguire has become annoyed with the Spaniard's lack of communication and reluctant to defend further from his goal line, and the summer arrival of Martinez from Ajax appears to have improved the situation, as the Argentine is able to communicate with De Gea in his native Spanish. And under the new manager Erik ten Hag, Maguire has not started a Premier League game since United were hammered 4-0 by Brentford in their second game of the season. Instead, Lisandro Martinez and Rafael Varane have been selected as United first choice centre-back pairing. But despite all these challenges at the club level, he remains a vital player for England, one of the first names on Gareth Southgate's team sheet, and a big part of the Three Lions revival in recent years. He barely put a foot wrong in the 2018-2022 World Cups, and while Marcus Rashford, Jadon Sancho and Bukayo Saka missed their penalties in their shootout against Italy, Maguire slammed his spot kick into the top corner of the net. When he put on the England shirt, he seems to forget his troubles with Manchester United. He is not a shrinking violet. But even though the spotlight focuses intently on England and the pressure is huge, that of United are even bigger. The fan base is not confined in one country, but is spread across the world. And the reality is that most of England matches are qualifiers against nations of little quality. But big crucial tests only come in major tournaments every 2 years or so. Manchester United are under massive pressure every week in the Premier League, and indeed every competition they play in, and Maguire often caved in against it. And getting closer to the end of the 2022-2023 season, Maguire will go on to score an own goal in their 2-2 draw against Sevilla, having been forced on due to injuries to Varane and Martinez. He was replaced by Luke Shaw in subsequent matches. Such was ten Hag's lack of belief in him. The coach was asked at the end of the season whether Maguire had a future at the club, and as ever, the manager tried to be polite but could not help being blunt. Let's say I am happy he's here, and when we needed him, he did his job, but it's also a decision he has to make, he added. It was a damning indication of how far Maguire has fallen in stature, from the most valuable defender in the world to a player who was only needed on rare occasions to do a job. The criticism of Maguire will intensify in coming weeks, with some fans calling him to leave the club, and some even went as far as sending a bomb threat to his home, which the police immediately began investigation. And as part of precautionary measures, a police explosive dogs were sent to conduct a search of gardens and surroundings in his home. And as the 2022-2023 season began, Maguire has been stripped of the captaincy of Manchester United by the manager Erik ten Hag. And for every Manchester United fan, this decision was long overdue. But for Maguire, it is one of the strongest pills to swallow in his career, but super ready to support whoever takes charge. And he's been closely linked to West Ham for a possible transfer away from the Old Trafford, which he vehemently refused, and ready to fight for his spot in United starting 11. And on October 7, 2023, Maguire provided an assist for Scott McTominay to score his second goal in a late stoppage time to give United a 2-1 comeback win against Brentford. And on 24th October, he scored the only goal in his first Champions League match of the season, which ended in a 1-0 victory against Copenhagen to be his club's first win of the competition that season. And he has this to say some few days later: "I had to bide my time and be patient. I'm really enjoying my football, and I really enjoy playing for this club. I was willing to stay and fight for my place. We have 4 to 5 top international centre-backs in this club, and the competition for our first place is really high." And when asked about the abuse he's been receiving, he had this to say, and I quote: I would not say I am a person who struggles with pressure mentally. His mom has also described the abuse very disgraceful. I understand that in the football world there are ups and downs, positives and negatives, but what Harry received has gone beyond football, and I wish no one goes through this. Jojo Chiellini has also shown his support for the player, saying, "I am sad for Maguire's situation because he is a good player." And according to Maguire, David Beckham has also called him to offer some advice on how to handle the continuous abuse being thrown at him. We are wishing Harry Maguire the very best of luck in his profession as a footballer. And for anyone who has shown some form of hatred or abuse towards this man, just imagine if it was you, how would you feel?
Mr. Speaker, you remember that last year, I was very quick to compare my big brother, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, to Harry Maguire. Mr. Speaker, I now apologize to Harry Maguire. Today, Maguire has turned the corner as a transformational footballer. Harry Maguire is now scoring goals for Manchester United. Mr. Speaker, Harry Maguire is now a key player for Manchester United.
Like and share the video and subscribe to this channel for more fascinating content.